talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping lifted scenes while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, beneath the halo of a streamland. I turned my color to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs and voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fools say that you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words and I might teach you. Take my oath and I might lead you. On my words, like silent raindrops fell. Echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out his warning, and the words that he was calling. And the sign said the words of the prophets are ringing on the subway walls, tenement halls, whispered in the sound of silence. We give thanks. We give thanks. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise. As usual, we are stay consistent. And we are choose to share our basic information. However, first and foremost, we must say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Because we know it's not just a one-day celebration for the mothers. Yeah, a mother's work is never end, truly. Because when the mother's children are grown up and gone far away, the mother's love not cease, you know. So it is with the father. So happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there. Now, again, we give thanks to the Most High, creator of nature, to the Most High, creator of the boundless universe, to the mystic laws of the universe, to our great spirit. We do give thanks and praise. Now, Mr. Tender of Payment topic. But we're going to start with money, and this is one of the basic definition of money. It's a current medium of exchange. I don't know why I carry that. It's a bit smaller sometimes. I like highlight my information as I go along, So it's a current medium of exchange in the form of coins. We talk about money and banknotes. The definition continue to go on and say coins and banknotes collectively. So since it talk about banknote, make we look at the definition of what a banknote is. It's a banknote resembles the common promissory note, issued by a bank or a corporation authorized to act as a bank. And this is from the Bouvier's definition. It's a bit more expressive, that's why I like use this lexion. They say it is in fact a promissory note. We are talking about banknote. But such notes are not, for many purposes, to be considered as mere securities for money. So it's not to be considered as mere securities for money, but are treated as money. We are talking about the banknote. In the ordinary course and transaction of business. So this is the banknote we still talk about. By the general consent of mankind. Them talk about agreement right here when you hear them talk about consent. And general consent, that means, them not presume that. Anyway, let's start again from the top so my people get it. A banknote, this is where you say is being exchanged as cash, my people. A banknote, resembles a common promissory note. I don't mind I repeat and go back and forth you understand? My people have to familiarize themselves with them things. While we are learn, we are share. So everybody can at least have an opportunity to, approach this money in the ordinary course and transaction of business by the general consent of mankind and on payment of them. want to know about the sentence structure right there, but as we go along with, rearrange these things. Yeah, man. When a receipt is required, the receipt are always given as money, not as securities or notes. So we can read this again and again and again just to get the clarity to see what a banknote is. And again, a banknote resembles a common promissory note issued by a bank or by a corporation authorized to act as a bank. By a corporation authorized to act as a bank. It is in fact a promissory note, because anything in writing can be construed as a promissory note. This is why you have secured note, not the same thing. Bank note, not the same thing. Negotiable note. You understand? So once it's a promise to pay, then it can be construed as promissory note. This is where the people I'm gonna use as cash right now, my people. The cash where you have, especially them fancy new money there, the old money, paper money, were printed on paper. That's banknote. It a come from the central bank, and the central bank is considered a federal bank because it is an instrumentality of the World Bank and the IMF and all of these parent companies. And we are talking about the Bank of Jamaica. People, you notice when you can just walk in any so-called bank, you can go around and chase. Well, we're not there in America, but we are talking about what I'm calling this one right by us. NCB and the one where them robbed the other day. You can just walk, go inside of any one of these banks. Jamaica National, you know what I mean? And you conduct your business. But you can't do the same thing at the Jamaica Central Bank. You can't go down at the Bank of Jamaica and just walk in and, you know, and then you ask yourself this question: why is that? You understand? So the central bank is in fact the bank, and every other thing is corporation authorized to act as bank. Yeah, man. Just check the basic research. And once we have a central bank, then yeah, you can say we are Rothschild affiliated. Yeah, we are affiliated with the international bankers out there because these people say them a lend with money, IMF money, and I can verify. So them not give us nothing in cash. It's all book data entry. It's all that, you know. When I want to say it's imaginary, you understand. But what we are saying, the substance is not there. This is why them can easily manipulate the value of the dollar, and then can look at any, say, country in any region where them are operate, and them can decide for, say, bankrupt that country, or them just spend lavishly on that country according to their own colonial reasons. Because the financial system that I am seeing in place is a colonial system. However, because it is in commerce, commerce is what them would have said the dealings or the interactions with people or amongst people from time immemorial. So commerce is nothing new. It's just that when a group of people are choose to privatize or monopolize the commercial system for their own personal gain, then that's when we have to study to see what is lawful and what is not. Most people live under this illusion only because they can't help it. When there was a time when you could at least find alternative information with substance, now you're not gonna find that. You understand? You have to really search, far and wide to ascertain good quality information, and information will bring true change. Not information where I tell you so you can be rich and entrap you and enslave you perpetually because you chase the demonic material aspects of things. That's what most people plug into. They can never find comfort in the simplicity of nature. You can't find comfort in the simple things. It drives them crazy. So this is why most people are fear so they must chase this illusion. Everybody want financial security. But if you ask them what is that, most clueless. Because they're gonna tell you all kind of nonsense about money. And if you ask them what is money, what constitutes money, again, our people are going to be serious. Because them conditioned by way of the mass media, the TV, movies, the theater. This is how them program us, condition us to be whatever it is they or the foreign colonists want us to be. This is why I take pleasure in sharing this kind of information from our perspective, only because it is unheard of here on the island. Yeah. Yet, this process what we are talking about is the commercial common law process. The common law derived from commerce, and commerce derived from natural law. Yeah, man. So when we have natural law at the hierarchy, below that we have commerce. And then below commerce we have common law. And then we have the government come in now, where them come and introduce what is known as statutory legal standard, alternatively used as rules and regulations. However, they call those legal standards, rules and regulations, they call it law. But it is in fact statutory law or admiralty law. It's one and the same. However, the commerce and the commercial law seem to supersede all of these things. Yeah. So as we go along and I get the clarity, then we'll just take our time. Because we are patient. We're not in a rush to get to nowhere. Really. So we'll just take our time and, approach the information with a whole lot of respect and care. We prone to make errors. You understand? However, we now have an issue when we are in error to correct ourselves. Yeah, man. Amend whatever it is. And we still a push forward. Yeah, man. But my people have to realize that by the general consent of mankind, this is how people agree that a stone can be construed as a diamond if the people or the parties involved agree to such. Again, a banknote resembles the common promissory note issued by a bank or by a corporation authorized to act as a bank. It is in fact a promissory note, but such notes are not, for many purposes, to be construed as mere securities for money. You see the word securities? Yeah, take note. But are treated as money in the ordinary course and transaction of business by the general consent of mankind and on payment of them. So by the general consent, you're gonna take, a leaf can be what, can be money if we agree that a leaf is the money. Just like how people agree that the banknote that is being, say, utilized now is a mean of tender. However, all of that changed in 1971. So now we have to use a bond instrument. This is why you have the birth registration form. This is why you have your own surety bond. Your surety bond take care of all of these public obligations, like your utilities. Yeah, and if you don't live nowhere, you're supposed to can structure the very same instruments and facilitate somewhere for you to live. Yeah, basic necessities. Even your car. Yeah, your basic necessities. So this kind of information is where them not want us to know about. Them not want we know about the Uniform Commercial Code. They really don't want us to know about these things. You understand? The moment I place an affidavit and structure my document a specific kind of way, then I realize that the court take notice and the court act different. Everything was different. You understand? And going forward, as we, improve ourselves, then, we're going to find ways to resolve whatever issue there is, because you cannot break the law and say you enforce policy, corporate policy. Can't break the law. Say you maintain law. What law is that? A police officer take a constitutional oath to that office to uphold the constitutional law and to show respect to the people. Because the oath is to the people of Jamaica, to serve them well. Again, to serve them well. That is the police oath. And if you say grown adult man and woman and style them as a boy or a girl, that's not in the contract. And even when you're in a situation where some low IQ people are going to be rude and disrespectful, sometimes it takes discipline for you to react in kind as a professional, as a police officer or a public servant. But when you move outside of the constitutional law, when you become a lawbreaker, then you got totally ignore the human dignity of the man and woman. So you got to deal with them like you think it's a pigsty. And I'm quite sure in the police and soldier training, these people are going to tell us, say, boy, respect, respect. This is why you're going to the training, so them get discipline. You understand? So you know, say, boy, you have to bathe, you have to brush your teeth, you have to groom yourself. And if because of your religion, groom, then that can be, excuse. But you can't be an untidy, filthy guy and I say, boy, you're a professional and you want respect. You can't get respect when you're not sure respect. Before you demand respect, you have to naturally be respectful. And that got on both sides. Even the people them we are going to interact with the public officers out there who now fair choose to be respectful. On the other hand, when you're a criminal or you're a bad man, then a whole different thing are going there. So you understand? Because when you're a criminal and you're a bad man, then there is an unexpressed war that is raging with you and the state. Because the state are going to be there for uphold law and order, presumably. So if you are go outside the law and break law, and I do criminality, then naturally you and the state agents are going to have conflict. And we can't get involved in that. Again, people, we choose to make whatever decision where suits their circumstance. So if a man say a crime of a fixed theme circumstance, then a theme choice that. If a man say, boy, I'm not mind I work, from early in the morning till late night, and I have no issue, a theme choice that. But to every choices where we make, there is consequences. Yeah, man. To every actions, we have to, give accountability for these actions. It's only the politicians that not really have to be held accountable. The parliamentarians and these elite people who are ruling over the common folks, these people they are immune. They can do anything they want. They can get away with anything they want. What them can't escape is the law that is in place where most people might not know about. I kind of give thanks when we're patient enough to take a good look at what commerce is. Yeah, man. And now, powerful and potent the commercial affidavit process can be. It's no joke, people. But in a notice, me not go on and not go on like me have a big sword and I wheel it. No. We are share all different kind of information to bring our people up. And when we say our people, including the government employees. Because usually people like me them learn from the unorthodox type. Them never can learn nothing from the regular slave. Because, when you're a slave and not have the knowledge, the only way for you to protest is to engage in criminality, whether consciously or unconsciously. So the only way for you rebel because really expand your knowledge, then you gotta think, crime. Now I am here to say, watch out now, there's an alternative. Make we really pay attention to the information, apply ourselves accordingly. The moment we start do that, we now go have time to get in trouble, people. I'm telling you, you were sitting in your house for 3 days and you know realize that 3 days has passed because you study, you read, you research. You would be surprised to see how your life change. The only time you might get involved is when, as them would have said, wrong place at wrong time. And because you're always inside of your house with your computer, read, write, and I try to learn some things, it's like hard for you there in a 2, 3, 4 different places at the same time. So there is no excuse. People are choose to be bad or are choose to be good. It's a choice. I say I could try get that part of the knowledge, yeah. Whatever the finance is, let's try to learn it. Whatever the commercial law is, let's try to learn it, my people. Uniform commercial code, because them operate with the uniform commercial code. It only makes sense for us to apply ourselves specifically that way. I'm gonna need a history right now when we are talking about, some people are say, well, oh, a debt. And when we take a stock, it's a government obligation, really. And because there is no money, all we can do is discharge whatever obligation being presented by the obligee, my people. Yeah, man. So by the general consent, when you know consent, say boy, the prime minister is God Almighty, then he is such because the citizens who agree to that. Number two, a banknotes are assignable by delivery. The holder of a banknote is prima facie entitled to prompt payment of it and cannot be affected by the fraud of any former holder in obtaining it, unless evidence is given to bring it home to his privity. They cannot be taken in execution. So them I talk about banknote, and then you hear a lot of people out there with this kind of information. We tell us that the Federal Reserve note not really backed by substance per se. You understand? However, it represent credit in account or credit of account. So not however this card, this is why we are say we don't have money for pay. Because the legal tender, the Federal Reserve note or the bank note, what them have. Because really, are the one and the same it seems. Them I tell you say it resemble common promissory note, and them I say it cannot be considered as securities for money, but it is treated as money. It's a negotiable instrument, my people. This is what I keep saying. And negotiable instrument is you writing on a piece of paper. You know what I mean? Sign and seal. You know what I mean? With probably a couple of signatures. Because you have certain elements that constitute a negotiable instruments. These things we're going to take the time and go through. But there is no rush. We have a lifetime to learn this thing. This is the new faculty of thinking. This is the new frontier. It's not new enough, but them are perfect it now. This is why everything is data. Data meaning non-analog. We're there long enough. Remember when you have phone where you have to spin in a circle. Till now you have phone where you don't even have to look at. You just talk. And the phone, you just give the phone the command. So right now, the new system, which is old, this is it. So we have to learn it, because when me I talk about another, every single body is supposed to function like that. Just consider that there is no money in a man. And you have a surety out there, but them still are going to try hide the surety from you. Because them are going to want a labor force. You understand? Yeah, no political society can exist without a viable labor force. You know what I mean? And usually that labor is slave labor. Because they're not necessarily going to make you work for your wealthy and retire early. No, how can they? They have to make you work, put you in a state of condition where you work forever, for a life, all when you're dead. You're programmed to get up in a whatever form you're in and go work. We are work for. All of the people on the island here where I work right now, when I don't know how it goes for Friday, I don't think people get paid every Friday no more. I think it's like month and fortnight. Now, when the month come, do these people give you some gold coins, or do they give you paper money, or do they just tell us it's in the account? And then you go to the bank and get the bank note for your sweat equity. And if the bank note, as them I said, is not security for money, you understand, it's just treated as money, then what are you working for? What are you exchanging or trading your sweat equity in the form of labor for? Excuse me. What is it? Anyway, well, that's a share, the basic information. Yeah. But that's like I do this thing, it's like you're there in a little classroom and I don't go a handful of students here share them information here with. You understand? Just a handful. And just the handful the way I go get the information, yeah. And them I go change the area. I saw it going. Yeah, man, 'cause if it's a big crowd and excitement, then like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, them I go try get rid of the teacher. Anybody we share anything we can uplift and help the common folk. Now what's a tender of payment? Uniform Commercial Code Section 3-604. The forgotten defense. A. Tender of payment may be defined as an unconditional offer. I would say an unconditional counter offer by a debtor or obligor to pay another in current coin of the realm or sum not less in amount than that due on the specified debt or obligations. So that is tender of payment. And why is it an unconditional counter offer? Because the obligee or the utility company, the phone company, send you a presentment, they must send you an offer. Remember everything prepaid, You understand? And remember you have service with them, This is why they must send you a statement, not a true bill. They must send you a statement. So it's up to you now to comprehend what go on so you can acknowledge and accept their offer. Because usually when them send you a statement, them supposed to send you a method or a means of making your payment. Remember, I share a tape yesterday where I said there is no substantive money per se out there. They remove all of that because them are changed to a new form of system. But you have some people where find ways and means to deceive the people and keep them enslaved or entrapped in an old system so them can profit. This is what is called double dipping. It's like when my favorite company, Digital, sent me a statement. You know what I mean? Looking like this. You don't know me, it's a man itching. See if I can bring it up. Looking like this. It's a digital statement. Now this would be an example of the statement. I wonder if I can bring it smaller. Yeah, I'm gonna do it this way. Now this area you see right here. This is a check. This is the means or the method where them have to provide for us to pay. Them have to provide a check. So we supposed to detach this check and endorse it or create a negotiable instrument where you accept it for value, approve, and present them with the information and direct them to where the account is so you can tender payment. You understand? So every bill where you get, you're going to see a little area like this where you're supposed to detach and you accept it for value and send it back. There is no paying the money, you know. To discharge is the payment. When you return this thing for value, it is for the payment. Anyway, we'll see if we can express it a little bit more verbally. Again, we say A, tender of payment may be defined as an unconditional counteroffer by a debtor or obligor to pay another in current coin, metallic stuff, of the realm, a sum not less in amount than that due on the specific, in other words, dollar for dollar. It has to be the specific money. If them say you owe $9.10, you only can discharge it accordingly. That's why you don't have to do much. You understand? Because when you discharge, acknowledge and accept and send it back to value, that's when them can discharge and zero the books, balance the books. But if you send a payment, then they can infer that you make them a next offer, a whole different offer from for them offer what them present. Now B, tender of payment typically arise when the law of commercial paper telling us a paper them a deal with, you know. Yeah, man. When a party obligated on a negotiable instrument at its maturity date tenders. That means, yeah, give them it as payment. The sum due to the holder. So the holder would be my favorite internet company provider. You understand? And when I tender this before the due date, and just like when I tender the document to Digital and them have a response, them accept my proof of payment, and me have to wait 3 to 5 days for the bank to process it. So that is the acceptance. So whatever it is them are come with after, then me have a defense against them. And we're going to show you, say, Anna, me I say, this is the uniform commercial code. That's why I love the commercial affidavit process. Because when me present my affidavit, say, I always have a defense. You understand? And we just go through the process. Yeah, man, it's all commerce, you know, and commerce and a joke, you know. What them a teach, we say commerce, we discover say something else. You understand? Now see, say, if tender is refused and the holder, which is a internet provider, subsequently sues, like them a go sue me and say, boy, I'm not pay my debt because them want some special kind of thing from me. To collect on the obligation, the obligated party may assert a prior tender. You understand? As a defense to liability for interest, costs, and attorney's fee occurring on the instrument after the effective date of tender. And because I email, me I gotta have proof that my tender payment on the 2nd of April for this thing process before the 11th, which would be the due date. You know what I mean? Probably later again, me gonna put up the instrument then when we place out. Well, I love it, people. Again, I can highlight the effective date of tender, which was such and such date, and we have the correspondence to validate our claim. And a joke thing, people. This Article 3 of the Uniform Commercial Code has codified a tender of payment rule for commercial paper in Section 3-604. Number 1, any party making a tender of full payment to a holder when or after it is due is discharged to the extent of all subsequent liability for interest, cost, and attorney's fee. You hear that? Number 2, the holder's refusal to such tender wholly discharge any party who has a right of recourse against the party making the tender. When the maker or the acceptor of an instrument payable otherwise than on demand is able and ready to pay at every place of payment specified in the instrument when it is due, it is equivalent to tender. So you just want to make sure, sir, the internet service provider get the tender. And we have proof for tender, we have proof for all of that. And the beauty about it, and we're going to do it right in front of everybody. But, you know, we have to be selective. In other words, we have to give them room for maintain and correct themselves. And when them don't, then we just publicize everything and we just let them go through the commercial process. Because it is action in commerce, and commerce not play. One thing with commerce, you know, truth. A sovereign in commerce. Yeah, man, you know, play with commerce, man. And the principles and authorities or maxims apply when we are dealing with commerce. And a joke, my people. This is why I say I'm kind of stuck on it this way. Note, money and finance, Title 31, USC section 5118(2)(b). Now this I give you a more expressive or more detailed information because I talk about money and finance. And remember, the US dollar is the world reserve currency. And Jamaica is a member of the IMF and the World Bank and all of these financial institutions. Don't be fooled. Jamaica have a central bank called Bank of Jamaica, where you cannot, common folk cannot walk inside there and conduct business. I'm going to probably, well, me not have my ride for real, just drive, go down there and video, just, and just prove that. You understand? But we have a lot of corporation guys as bank. Corporation who are authorized to act as bank, and them take on all kind of name like Jamaica National. You know what I mean? NCB, all of these things are just corporations given authority to act as bank, my people. Yeah, so we have said Title 31 provide for many years that the requirement of repayment of debt in a particular kind, coin or currency, could be made by legal tender. It could be made by the Federal Reserve note or the bank notes where you say circulate out there. However, as of the 21st of October 1977, legal tender for discharge of debt is no longer required. That is because legal tender is not in circulation at par value with the promise to pay credit. So you say when you not spend money, something else will go on, but nobody now tell you no. And we are talking about the Uniform Commercial Code, which is their law. It are the international law out there. It are going inside of the courts system out there. When we go in a traffic court, this is what's going on. Them a deal with commerce. You understand? Them a say them have a lien or a claim on my surety. You understand? Or them have some kind of interest. This is why I create my security agreement with my surety to express my interest. So I'm going to demand them to express whatever interest them have. You understand? And when we choose not to be a citizen of the political entity named the government of Jamaica, then there is nothing antecedent to base your claim, or there is no foundation for the state to make any kind of claim, period. And the difference is when you deal with people such as I, opposed to some other guy. And the difference is, promise to pay credit. This is because legal tender is not in circulation at par with the promise to pay credit. Our defense is in reference to the government obligation at Public Law 7310, Chapter 4848, Stats 112, not a statutory subject's remedy by resolution, meaning House Joint Resolution 192, that of a slave, but by the sovereign's remedy at Public Law 7310, Chapter 4848, statute at large. Because for them rules in a people, on a mind. So me have to highlight and direct them, say this is what it is, and this is on the federal level. Yeah. All right. This is on the IMF level. Put it that way. Because IMF not there around here, but IMF influence, permeate all the financial activities of the government of Jamaica. You understand? So don't think it's foreign. We have to learn them things here. Now it's one, the government remove the people's liability to make payment by making all contracts null if it requires the payment related to an obligation alleging to give the obligee a right to require payment in gold or a particular coin or currency, or money in gold or a particular coin or currency of the United States. All that must be done now is to discharge the liability, discharge whatever obligation. Because when you look at the statement, when me I tell you, sir, my favorite service provider sent to me. Right on the front here, you're gonna say it is not a true bill. It not say a true bill. It says statement of account charges. So if there is charges, what way you do it? You have to discharge the charges. Because charge is a tax. So you have to return the tax. You understand? Tax return, you have to return the tax. So you acknowledge, accept, approved. You understand? And you return it for value. And that's all needed to be done. It's just that our people not really, them not teach with this kind of the information. So we have to just, discover it for ourselves and see how we can apply it. And, hold them accountable when them act as if they don't know what it is. We can hold them accountable. Yeah, man. Now we say, number 2, we cannot write off or charge off the debt because we are not in possession of the surety account. The fiduciary, obligee, trustee, agent is in possession of the surety account, so we must provide them with the tax return or charge return by the return of the original offer. So the fiduciary, trustee, obligee can discharge the liability through their internal revenue service or their bookkeeper or their ledgering. Number 3, we don't need to make payments that are acceptable by our fiduciary, obligee, trustee, which would entail or infer that we made an offer. Again, it's just like when me tender payment on my favorite internet provider, I got still send me notification. I say me have outstanding bill because them need some kind of payment. I know say me not supposed to make a payment that is acceptable to these people, to this entity. You understand? Because that would entail or infer that I'm making them an offer, fresh offer. That would be innovation. You understand? So all we supposed to do is the acceptance and return their offer as payment. So the return of their offer is the payment, but them around here so look like them not comprehend that's what it is. So this is why they might end up disconnect my thing, and then never find a way to make them pay me for the inconvenience. God, this is a check. This is a statement what I'm saying, which is lawful, and I'm supposed to provide a means of payment because there is no substantive money. The only thing you can do is discharge the obligation, because you can't pay a debt with a debt. You can't use a debt instrument to satisfy a debt instrument. Remember, these people are operating under bankruptcy already. It's extant. This is why they have a banking emergency, which is extant. It means everything bankrupt. This is why them say the earth is out of course. Lucifer take it over, him fuck it up. However, the truth is always there. You understand? Irrespective of what them are do with the truth, it remains so truth. And this is where we are now, and this is which part we are choose to stand up. You understand? Upon truth. Now, let me look at bank loan before me. Let me see if I finish. The obligee. Okay. Number 4, the obligee. A lot of time I do these things and I tell you. The obligee made an offer by their unsigned and unsealed presentation of a statement, which is not a true bill. We should only accept, endorse, and return obligees unsigned and unsealed presentation of a statement, which is in fact the offer. So, again, we just express the basics. I'm quite sure what me I do has never been done here on the island. Yeah, you know what I mean? People are gonna say, I don't know what that thing I talk about, so them now go have no interest. But I guarantee later it going to slap a lot of on your face. If you can't administer your own affairs, then someone will have to administer your affairs for you. So this is where was at the grassroots level we have learned these things. Bank loan. A. The bank does not lend actual or substantive money, but instead the bank simply create credit on its book of account via book data entry. Now we said the credit or money is derived from our own public trust surety account, not from the bank. Therefore, since nothing of value had been advanced by the bank to the lender or to any lender, the bank is not entitled to the property that had been given as security for the loan. There was no consideration of value given by the bank. My people, we're gonna start. Well, means a man have a problem, a challenge, whatever it is. But you people going to have to start learning to make some challenges, question these things, let them verify whatever claim they bring forward. Let's look at the definition of the bank before we left. Bank, a place for the deposit of money. B, an institution generally incorporated, authorized to receive deposit of money, to lend money, and to issue promissory note, usually known by the name of bank notes. Now hear what me say, my people. Definition of a bank, common law. A place for the deposit of money. B, an institution generally incorporated, authorized to receive deposit of money and to lend money and to issue promissory notes, usually known by the name of bank notes. This is what them issue, bank notes. Banks are said to be of three kinds: of deposit, of discount, and of circulation. They generally perform all these operations. So that is a bank. Like we look at bank book. Bank book, a book which persons dealing with a bank keep, in which the officers of the bank enter the A, amount of money deposited by them, B, all notes or bills deposited by them, or C, all notes or bill discounted for their use. Yeah. Boy, this thing is interesting. But we can go so in depth when it come on to commerce and them finances. We're gonna full joy this. Yeah. Worse when are we alone around here do it on this island. Yeah, when I see nobody else step up. And I think with the banknotes already, a banknote resembles a common promissory note issued by a bank or a corporation authorized to act as a bank. It is in fact a promissory note, but such notes are not for many purposes to be construed as mere securities for money. It's not security for money, but are treated as money. Them don't want to tell us it's just a piece of paper. in the ordinary course and transactions of business by the general consent of mankind and on payment of them. When a receipt is required, the receipt are always given as money, not as security or notes. So yes, so the receipt are given as money. The receipt. Yeah, man. Number two, so banknotes are assignable. We got through it already. A banknote are assignable by delivery. The holder of the banknote is prima facie entitled to prompt payment of it and cannot be affected by the fraud of any former holder in obtaining it, unless evidence is given to bring it home to its privity. And them say privity is a noun, a relation between two parties that is recognized by law, such as that of blood, lease, or service. So that is privity. Anyway, people, we should reach another hour mark and we have more. I'll probably share and thing, but again, yeah, tomorrow we'll probably, well, we're not going to really share the document itself until or probably after. Yeah. So again, we do give thanks and praise. And as usual, we just bring out the thing and share it and say give thanks and walk away. Disturb the sound of silence. Silence like a reason grow. In my words, the world of silence. Through the neon god they made. Tenement floor. The sound of silence.